Welcome
to Dynamite Delight.
Not Dynamite, Dynamite Delight. It's your delight of Dynamite. That's why you're here looking at a crazy old man doing a review. Anyway, was this a good show? Yeah, but it did have things that I'm like, why? And things that weren't there. One of those things is Eddie Kingston, the House of Black, and Ortiz. I need to see the House of Black with Malachi Black. I need to see Ortiz. I need to see Eddie Kingston. I am not happy about the situation with Eddie because Eddie, for more than a year, has been a fan favorite and they're doing nothing with him. Now it's supposed they're going to do something for him with the House of Black when he should have either gotten the TNT title or gone after the world title. That's the way I see it. I'm hoping to do something with him, but I don't believe it, and I think it's a waste. Now, opening, which was a little weird. You got Moxley versus Hangman Page. No problem with that. The match was great. It was well done. The match was great. And they're still hating each other. Now, either going to team up one day, or they're just going to keep trying to destroy one another, particularly once the match was over and seeing that the Bulldog choke was used by both of them, and seeing that Moxley managed to pin a Hangman Page by rolling him up was not bad. It was a great match. And seeing after that, they still despise one another. They ready to still keep going. Hangman Page is doing this. He wants Moxley to keep fighting with him. But here's the weird thing. The opening, before Hangman came out, you get Moxley coming down from the crowd. With Wheeler Yuta. Not unsurprising. But you had his dad come down with him. Now, mind you, they live less than about an hour from where his dad's probably living. No problem. But here's the thing. Usually when you bring a family member, well, I'm not trying to bash this. If this is a one-off, cool. I got no problem with it. But seeing how AEW is now doing these eliminator matches, like what happened with a Jamie Hayter is going to happen, when it comes to Jade Cargill or anyone else, these eliminator matches, I don't like them. So I'm worried that they're pulling a little bit of WWE, just calling it something different. And I don't know what they're going to do with his dad if this ever happens again. I'm all right if it was just a one-off. That he's in the same town as his dad is in. He said, "Dad, you want to come down with me?" He says, "Yeah, okay." And they go down to him. Well, go down. Go down I'm trying not to bash this. If this is a one-off with his dad coming down with him, that is cool. I am kind of happy about that. I like it. But if this is about trying to set his dad up in a story and angle, I don't know how this is going to go. And I'm really worried about it. Because even though I'm not saying that Tony was screwed up, I'm just worried. Now, what did we get next? We got Brian Cage versus Kateska. I'm going to give you this. Is Kateska a great wrestler? Yes. Is Brian Cage a good wrestler? Yes. Is Prince Nagi a good manager? I don't know. But here's the thing. Seeing these three together, I don't know how to feel. It wasn't a bad match. But since, even though it was part of the storyline that's being done with Bryan Danielson, I understand why he's there, because Kateska really likes Bryan Danielson. He considers him his hero. I understand that bit. But when it comes to Kateska, it feels like there's something missing. It's not that he can't talk English, because he talks a little bit of English, and he's a great wrestler, and they can always find a way to work around his language problem. There's no problem with that. It's just that they're not doing anything with him substantially on Dynamite or Rampage. I am not watching Elevation. I'm not watching Dark, or I should say Dark Elevation, and I'm not watching Dark. And I don't even know if they're doing anything on ROH's own channel, which I haven't had a chance to see the tribute show yet. Supposedly they did a tribute show, and they also did a special. So I gotta have a chance to, I'm not gonna review it, I'm just gonna see whenever I get a chance to watch it. But it feels like they need to give him something. It's not that he can't do a character. He doesn't have one. That's the problem. They haven't given him any. When it comes to Japanese wrestlers, they just let them wrestle.
And with all popular opinion, they do have storylines in Japan.
They may be a little longer to do because they build them up, from what I understand, a lot slower than American or European or Mexican. The Japanese storylines take like this, where the American and Canadian and maybe a little bit of Mexican, they go like this. So it's like this and then this. I can understand it. But you got to show us something. Give us a reason to see that this guy is going to be something. The character development, I don't see it. Yes, he's working with Bryan Danielson, which hopefully will develop him, but still. Now, the best match of the night, and it is the best match of the night, and that's Bryan Danielson versus Timothy Thatcher. Now, he came from Pro Wrestling Noah. Now, I want to say this. I did see the special, the last Pro Wrestling Noah that had the Great Muta, Darby, and Sting. I finally did get a chance to watch it when it had English. Someone said they do English. And I tried to search for it, and I did find a place that actually had it. And I got to say this when it comes to Pro Wrestling Noah. I did learn about what happened to why Pro Wrestling Noah existed because of All Japan Pro Wrestling, because of the division, and practically almost being dead, being bought twice. I can understand why people like them. The camera work, honestly, is what Impact Wrestling and MLW should be using. The lighting, I think MLW is doing a little bit better than what Pro Wrestling Noah would do, or Impact Wrestling. I will say this, at least for the 2 episodes I watched. Yes, all 3 of them have darkness, and I do not agree with it. If you know you got a huge fan base, the people at home, well, for American fans, they would love to see it. I don't know about when it comes to Japanese fans or European fans. I would expect the European fans may like a little bit of light, and maybe the Japanese like it completely dark. That it counts on the culture of how pro wrestling is there. So I can't say that. But I'm talking as an American who is seeing a product that has now American probably had it for a while, commentators in it. We do like to see the people outside the ring as well as inside. I'm just saying. But I did see it. And seeing that they do develop characters there, and I know they do, it makes me feel bad with Kateska. They really need to do more. Yes, he did have a fight with MJF. Yes, he's going to have a match next, is it Friday or this next Wednesday? I can't remember. I think it's an eliminator match. Like I said, if you win the eliminator, you get a shot at the title. Doesn't that sound interesting or
Very Vince typical.
Tell me I'm wrong. Does it sound like a Vince typical thing? If you go up against a champ and you win, you get a title shot. Eliminator match is just another name for doing what the WWE does, and I don't agree with it. I'm sorry. Jamie Hayter's going to be doing that, and now I believe MJF is going to do it. And it was, I believe also Jay Cargill, which I'll talk about in a minute, which really pissed me off. But that's it. Now, let's go. Well, I will say what happened with Bryan was very good. Almost forgot. I enjoyed the match. Best match of the night. 100%. And particularly when MJF was at ringside eventually, because the ref gets nailed, and that's when Kateska, who already had a match with Brian Cage and lost it. Fine, no problem. He lost it. I believe he did lose it. Didn't he lose Kateska? No, Kateska won it. Sorry, my mistake. Brian Cage lost. Kateska won. I got it mixed up.
I'm dyslexic. I always get things mixed up.
But he did his match. He got changed, got in the hoodie, got into the crowd. When Bryan Danielson had his match after it was over, won the match. Well, pretty much when he was about to get nailed by MJF, that's when Kateska came in. Then later, he won the match. It was fine. No problem. And that's how they set up the match between Kateska and MJF. But if it's that eliminator garbage, I don't agree. I don't know if JD's going to agree. I don't know if he will. Maybe just Alex won't agree. They'll notice what I'm noticing. That eliminator match stuff means if you win, you get a title shot. That's garbage. You're just calling it something else. I'm just saying. Jade Cargill versus Red Velvet. Either she was going to get 50-0 by winning or 49-1 by losing. Guys, I'm sorry. I don't remember which is I think the next pay-per-view is, what is it? Revolution, I believe? I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the next pay-per-view for AEW. We know what happened here. Jade won. Red Velvet lost. Even with help from Kiera Hogan, who was supposedly a distraction for the ref when Red Velvet had to win. If she doesn't drop that title soon, I'm going to shit all over her. Because at this point, I'm sorry, I don't hate Jade. I actually like Jade. But at this point, the title is not helping her anymore. And she's not elevating anymore. When she first got that title, it was a brand new minted title that had no prestige. A brand new wrestler that is still green. This is what we got. Instead of bringing up here, or let's say the title was here, Jade was here, and it brought her up to here where the title is giving a prestige. Or maybe Jade was here, a brand new title, and she brought it up. We got neither. She got the title that was brand new, and she had to work to try and bring it up, which is here. It is not here, and it's definitely not here. It is here. That girl need to drop that damn title. It's time. If they had just let us... Stay calm. If they had allowed Selena Deeps to win the title, that would have helped. If they allowed a Thunder Rosa to win the title, that would have helped. If they allowed maybe a Britt Baker to win it, yes, I know at that time she couldn't do because she was current champion. Fine. If they let Statlander or Ruby Soho or a Athena eventually gain it, if they had not let her get it, and they allowed any one of those really seasoned wrestlers to come in and elevate the title a bit before she got it, it would help. But we're talking about a woman who's still new in the business, who got a new title, and is trying to bust her ass to raise it, and I take nothing from her. She really tried her best to work on her She worked on her mic skills, on her look, on her ring work. She's done it all. She's worked hard on it, and she went from here to here, easily. She's not like up here. She's easily could be a mid-carder. And it's understandable she's a mid-carder because she's still green. Even though she knows how to wrestle, she knows how to talk, she has a great look. She still needs more time to season. She's only been in business maybe, a year and a half to 2 years now, easily 2 years. She needs more time. She needs to move on. That title is done. Winning this is now becoming a detriment. From this moment on, she's going to drop and her stock is going to drop. Because she's gone through the entire roster. There's no one left. Unless you're going to try and throw Statlander at her again. What? Athena again, who's busy with all age? What? Mercedes Martinez again? No. The only chance she has is someone outside of AEW. Like who? Let's go down the list of who she could deal with that is currently not in WWE. First, Mickie James. She could go after her. Counting if Mickie goes to AEW and does a one-off or whatever. 2, Deonna Purrazzo. She could go after her. 3, she could go after Rosemary if she could get Rosemary on, if they can get Rosemary in AEW. 4, Taya Valkyrie, who currently holds the featherweight title from MLW. She can go travel around. She could be one of those women that could try and deal with her. That's from Impact Wrestling. Now, NWA, the only person that I see that would have the most prestige, more than her, easily, would be the Brick House Camille. That is the only other person that I can think of that could give her a true challenge, because Camille is just as big as the Brick House is as big as Miss Jade Cargill. They're pretty much almost on par with height. Maybe Jade is a little bit taller than her, but they're both about this. Both They're cock diesel. And I don't see Billy Corgan sacrificing his Camille for Jade Cargill and Tony Khan. I don't see it unless it's going to be something that he can gain greatly from it. And he won't. So who does she have left? She's gone through everyone in the roster for that damn title. She needs to drop it. It is now going to be a chain around her neck from now on, pulling her down. I'm just saying. Final match of the night. Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin. No holds bar. The stip, even though it wasn't stated as a stipulation, Darby wanted that no holds barred match. And he said, if we do this, we're going to end this. If I win, no rematch for you. If you win, no rematch for me. Flat out, we're done. We're finished. Whoever wins, they're off on their own. Darby comes out in his long jacket, but once he took it off, guess what? He had a sweatshirt with thumbtacks in it. I got to say, that's interesting. I don't think I've even seen anybody be crazy enough to do that on national and international TV. Maybe they've done it in the indies, but not in AEW, definitely not in WWE or NWA. Haven't been done. At least not in recent memory. So it was actually quite good to see it. The match had gotten pretty feverish, and Samoa Joe got cut up. I think it was in this eye, I believe. He got cut really good on his eyebrow. He was ripped open. That had to come from probably the thumbtacks. He got it bad, man. He was bleeding pretty good near his eye. It was not good. But as time went on, the match was very good. I thought I knew that Samoa Joe was not going to win it. I could not believe they were going to let Darby Allin job here to Samoa Joe. But guess what? Darby tearing up the ring, pulling out the pads from the wood and the canvas, he loses. And Samoa Joe regains his title again. And I'm going like,
what the fuck was the point?
What was the point of that? That was hot potatoing the damn title. And I'm sure that JD and Jesse are going to say the same thing. It was not the point of the match. I mean, the match was a great match. I didn't hate it. There was nothing wrong with it. But we're talking about the TNT title that has jumped from one person to another, to another, to another. I don't agree with this. This is dumb booking. They should have never stripped it off of Samoa Joe. And I know you're going to say, what, he didn't get it stripped off. Yes, he did. Why would he have to job to a Darby Allin just to get it back within a few weeks to a month? That was a waste of time. Particularly, it didn't really give a huge amount. Samoa Joe finally comes back. He says he wants his shot back again. He gets it, and then he wins it. For some reason, they made him drop it and then gain it back. It's dumb. And then guess who comes back?
Willow.
Willow's back. Attacks, then tries to destroy he attacks Samoa Joe, tries to destroy all the security. He's ready to basically do pretty much an Ego's Edge or a Razor's Edge, and does probably on one of the security guards and throws him into the crowd of security guards outside the ring. Do I believe this is wise? No! You should have never taken the title off to Samoa Joe. If he was hurt, they should have just let him hold on to it. If he wasn't hurt, and he just couldn't defend it the way they wanted, then they just should have left him off TV. What would have been it wouldn't have hurt the company for him to not be seen for a couple of weeks, and he still had the title. No. If this was supposed to be because of Pro Wrestling Noah, because it's the only thing I can think of, the reason why Samoa Joe lost the damn title was because of the Great Muta, and they're sending Sting and Darby Allin over to Pro Wrestling Noah because of the Great Muta's last match. If that was the only reason they did it, that was a damn boneheaded move. That was dumb. Darby Allin didn't need the damn title to go to Pro Wrestling Noah to do a one-off match with the Great Muta and a trios match. It wasn't necessary. But this is just me. Was this show good? Yeah, it was fine. The matches were alright. Some of the storylines are alright. Look, seeing that Britt Baker gets her ass done in by Tony as well as Saraya, fine. Seeing Saraya as a heel, fine. Seeing that Ruby Soho is either lying and she is working with the others, or she's still on the fence by joining the AEW side or joining the Outsiders. It's like that. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. And the question is, how far are they going to go with this feud between Moxley and the Page? How far is Hangman going to go to feel exonerated after he gets his head knocked off, forgets his son's name, and wants revenge on Mox? I don't know. But this is just me. Peace.